Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tiffany Murphy. We start with breaking news. A little girl critically ill with COVID-19 has undergone a procedure to help her get more oxygen so her body can fight the virus. 16-year-old Charlie Swearingen is at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston tonight. Her father says doctors installed 2 tubes, one to pull out her blood and put oxygen in through an artificial lung, the other tube to put the blood back in. They hope it allows more time for this child to improve. Her dad was able to join his wife at their daughter's bedside this afternoon for the first time since she was hospitalized. The hospital has since agreed to let both those parents together. KFDM's Victoria White reports how State Representative James White had been fighting for that outcome on behalf of the family.
A father's love for his little girl, finally reuniting a Lumberton man with his daughter, despite COVID-19 visitation restrictions initially keeping them apart. Kevin Swearingen posted on Facebook that he finally made it into the room with his family, then added, "Isn't she beautiful?" He said he had to be let in to make a critical decision on Charlie's health.
And the hospital was telling myself and the Swearingen family that they were bound by governor's orders and regulations from HHSC hospital regulatory standards.
State Representative James White called on Governor Abbott to clarify and got a response.
Those real stringent restrictions that the state had, those were long gone last week.
Kevin Swearingen's daughter, Charlie Kate, has been on a ventilator at Texas Children's Hospital with her mother by her side. Her father and siblings sent their love several stories below from the parking garage with signs and messages of support. White says because of the new emergency rule, decisions are now in the hands of the hospitals.
These entities should not be, blaming this on the governor per se or Austin. When this is all in their discretion.
The hospital released a statement saying only one caregiver could be in the room with a child infected with COVID-19. No in and out privileges allowed. The new rule in the Texas Health and Safety Code states,
a hospital shall limit visitors allowed in the facility to extent that the hospital determines such limitation is necessary to prevent or control a COVID-19 related health and safety risk.
White says it's up to Texas hospitals to develop screening and visitation policies
that are consistent with the COVID-19 related conditions of their community, the values of their hospital, and the interests of patients and families.
At a time when one needs family more than anything right now.
This is why we have family. This is why family is so important.
In Houston, Victoria White, KFDM 6 News.
Beginning tomorrow, Texas Children's will allow 2 caregivers on a visitation list for COVID-19 patients, but only one can be with the patient every 72 hours. However, the hospital says it can make adjustments based on extenuating circumstances.